Hello, welcome. It's JoyNews Today, and in the next 60-year-old woman beaten to death after she was accused of witchcraft at Bubuna in the Yonyo Naswani district of the Northeast region. We have details. Also, Nigerians in Ghana picket at the embassy here in Accra to demand reinstatement of their deposed president. We'll hear from some nationals who have been speaking to JoyNews. The Electoral Commission vows to go after persons who flout rules for the use of the guarantee system in the upcoming voters registration exercise. With details, plus we'll tell you why Nkranza South and North will not partake in the upcoming district-level elections scheduled for 19th December. We also have business, sports and world news coming up in this edition. Thanks for tuning us. I am Amisi Nyamiche Thompson. Let's dig in now. 60-year-old woman, Konjit Jude, has been beaten to death after she was accused of being a witch at Bumbuna in the Yonyo Naswani district of the Northeast region. According to the family, the deceased was summoned by some of the community members after one of them reported seeing her in his dream trying to harm him. The family adds that the woman was murdered on her way to report the accusation against her to her family in the next village. The incident comes as Parliament recently passed a bill seeking to proscribe witchcraft accusations. It also comes on the back of a similar incident in June this year at Sangmana that nearly sparked tribal violence in the district. Speaking to Joy News, a brother of the deceased, Jacob Koch, says the family is demanding the arrest and prosecution of perpetrators. He said the family would not bury the body of the deceased until their demands are met. The police have confirmed the incident but wouldn't give any details. The chief of the community has condemned the attack and vowed to ensure the law takes its course. Witchcraft accusations and violence are common in the Northeast region. There are currently around 70 women separated from their families and being held as witches in the region. Chief of the community tells JoyNews measures he's taking to avert a repeat.
With the police. The police came and took the cops away and arrested one of the boys. So right now the cops is in the morgue. But they are insisting that they should get them the other boy. There were two boys who did that. So they should get them the other boy before the cops can release for them to go and bury. Now, as the chief of the community, I'm waiting for the cops to come. I have some verifications, some performances to do before they can bury the corpse. Then after the burial, I will sit with the family members and know what sort of methods to take.
Right. But before you go as well, another important issue is that many of the residents in your community are unaware of the bill that has been passed against some of these practices. How are you ensuring that this does not repeat?
Well, when I go back to the north, I think I'll have to organize. I have been calling meetings. I will invite my chiefs and most of my community members to attend those meetings. So when I go back, as usual, I will invite them and be informed about the new bill that has been passed. You know, previously, I used to entertain these witchcraft issues. But at the point, I was advised to, because a witch or a witchcraft is a spiritual thing. I don't have the eyes to see it. And so whenever somebody is accused of witchcraft, I don't have to entertain those people. And so I have really started dissuading my people before this incident happened. So as usual, when I go back home, I will mobilize them and get them educated on what has happened.
Meanwhile, sponsor of the witchcraft allegation bill, which passed last month, Francis Aviesoso, says until the president gives legal backing to the law, it cannot be enforced. He is, in the meantime, urging the gender ministry to initiate sensitization activities in such communities to educate the public on the new bill.
I believe that all CSOs who have been working together to ensure that this bill get passed. I'm talking about the Sane Institute, Action Aid, Amnesty International, and all other, including even the diplomatic community, the British High Commission, Australia High Commission, American Embassy, all the diplomatic community who have been all interested in supporting UK Aid, for example, supported Asuntaba and all the CSOs that were all involved in this, the process to criminalize witchcraft accusation. I would use a platform to actually appeal to all of them that this is the time for us to rechannel funding towards community-based sensitization, so that in these communities we can actually educate the communities to understand that accusing another person of being a witch has the potential of letting them die, like it just happened in this case. And that it is even criminal now for you to do that, even as you wait for the presidential assent. I also think that there is also an onus or duty on the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, because they are charged with the responsibility to protect the most vulnerable in society. So I think this is an opportunity for the ministry also, through the Department of Social Welfare, to begin a very serious or a series of education programs in these communities, so that we can bring the communities up to speed about the new law.
And we are joined on the line by Lamnatu Adamu, who is Executive Secretary of Santaba, an NGO that works in the interest of persons accused of witchcraft. And Lamnatu, I mean, where does this sit with you as somebody who has been working so hard to ensure that these persons do not suffer such an ordeal? Just barely a month when this bill was passed, this has happened. What do you make of it?
Well, I think this is so sad. For us, as we're jubilating and congratulating Parliament and all those who acted for the bill to be passed, just a few weeks to the passage of the bill, we are seeing this. And let me add that this is not just the first that has happened after the bill was passed. We've had about 6 or 7 cases since the bill has been passed due to witchcraft accusation. And that tells you that, like Honorable Francis also have talked about, we need to intensify sensitization and campaigns around witchcraft accusation and the associated right violations that it brings, because we cannot have many more older generation, losing their lives due to witchcraft accusation. This is sad indeed. And like he said, we all need to come on board to ensure that this does not happen again.
Well, Lamnatu, help me understand this. I mean, this is your area, and I'm sure you engage with the community leaders in these areas. How do they feel about some of these practices that go on in their communities, to the extent that people are killed?
Well, that just tells you how deep-seated the belief in witchcraft is. Because if you look at the effort that as an organization Santaba does, and as he mentioned, Action Aid and all other organizations who are doing in their various areas working around this issue, and we still have this coming on, it means that we still need to look at another strategy where we can get some allies even within the traditional authority, get some champions who will support in the advocacy, especially around understanding what the bill is and how our actions are contradicting what the bill seeks to say. And so we need to build allies with the traditional authorities and work in diverse ways. I mean, doing several engagement with men, several engagement with the youth, and then separate engagement with traditional authority. Because, look, police stations are not readily available. It is the traditional authority who need to take responsibility about the protection of women and other vulnerable, groups in our societies.
Well, in the interim, what is your organization also doing about this to, stem this practice in these areas?
Yes, so as an organization, we are also members of the Coalition Against Witchcraft Accusation. And I think we're bringing up strategies towards intensifying the campaign and then also sensitizing communities. We have always done continuous sensitization, doing radio level discussion, but we need to do more. And we need to ask other developmental partners and the embassies to come and support this campaign that we are running. And so we are doing sensitization. We're also calling out, the media to also intensify reportage about what's happening on the ground.
But for us to understand this well, I mean, you've been doing sensitization for some time now, and you yourself is just telling me that 7 cases of such incidents has happened even after the bill was passed. What is the missing link? What are we not getting right in this instance?
So now that the bill is passed, I think what we need to do is to ensure its effective implementation. But before then, we have to ask the president to assign his signature on it so that it becomes a full law. And then we have to, for me, we have to have an emergency sort of a team that needs to respond to some of these cases as and when it happens. So we need to have some kind of emergency team, an emergency court to make sure that as and when the cases are done, arrests are being made, and then the perpetrators are being prosecuted for people to see. But if we wait and then people don't get, arrested, then people will keep doing what they are doing. We have had 3 banishes. I mean, people have been banished even right after this. And a lot of it has to do with the traditional authority. I remember a case we are still following on, that the man reported the case to a police station in the Karga district. And then the police said that they cannot guarantee the man's safety. And so it's better the man leaves. I mean, is that a response enough? So the duty bearers, the police, need to be up and doing about attending to an immediate needs of these cases when they come up. And that is where I think the gap is. We are not getting swift response from government. And that is why these things continue to happen.
Right. Very grateful for your time here, Lamnatu Adam. She is the Executive Secretary of Santaba, an NGO working in the interest of persons accused of witchcraft. We'll surely be following up on this particular incident and get you updates on it. Now, let's move on and turn our attention to the coup in Niger, where some Niger nationals here in Ghana have been picketing the Niger embassy in Accra to demand the reinstatement of their deposed President Mohamed Bazoum. My colleague Blessed Soga has been interacting with some of them earlier. Let's take a listen to their concerns.
We want Bazoum. We want him. He's a good president. And we don't want the milking of the soldier. We want Bazoum back, so they should bring him back for us.
Are you against the soldiers?
No, we don't like the soldiers because we will not see improvement in our country because of the youth. So we want the Bazoum back in our country. He's a good father. He's a father of all. So we want him back.
They should give the president of the Niger people vote to him to power. They should bring the president back. So what we are saying, apart of Bazoum, we don't have any president in Niger because we need democracy. Africa is democracy. They give us democracy, freedom, and justice. Everybody to talk, but we know this soldier law. So that's why we come to here. We are discussing the ambassade here. The people, they are giving noise. They should drop the soldier. We need the president back. The commission that, the thing that we got present to them, the ambassade thing is under democracy. That's why we follow to come to the ambassade. They should know that the soldiers that they make the coup, they didn't bring any ambassade in Ghana here. Bazoum Mohamed is the president, is giving the commission to ambassade. So we are supporting, we are not talking about the ambassade, we are talking for the right of the Nigerian.
What is your name, by the way?
My name is Alhaji Sule Haruna.
Right. Alhaji Sule Haruna, you're leading this group.
Yeah.
Now,
are you for them for Greater Accra?
The point is, are you aware of what's happening in your own country?
Yeah.
The fact that people say you are not developed, you need development. That's why they.
That one, all they are lying. Today, everybody know. Since the government for President Muhammad Isufu, good 12 years 6 months, everybody know the development of Niger. Niger, First like this, if you go to Niger, you go see more things that we don't have. But today, Niger is changed because we are civilized on Niger. Now, things is opening, things is doing right, everything is moving. The president is like him, country people is like everybody. So we can't allow the soldier people to come to sit for the seat. They said that they are president. We not like them today, we not like them tomorrow.
Soldier, we are in democracy. We need democracy. Africa, the whole Africa, we need democracy. Soldiers, we need this soldier. We don't want this time. No.
But we saw them in the stadium. Lots of people came out to support them. Is that not an indication that they are working?
No. This one is a Kalibuli. It's not right. So now we need our president to come back in his seat because what these soldiers did is kidnapping. It's not cool.
That's what we know happened. You see, President Mohamed Bazoum is an emblem man. He's a good man. We not get president like Mohamed Bazoum. If Mohamed Bazoum stay in Niger like 10 years, all Niger go develop. But how the soldier come and destroy Niger, we not like.
You don't like it?
I not like. My people do not like. Nigerian people do not like.
Well, meanwhile, Chief of Staff of Niger's deposed President Djibo Dauda says the president's guard, which seized power in the French West African country at the end of last month, lacks recognition in the international community. He spoke in an exclusive interview with Blessed Soga.
I don't need to ask you how you're doing because obviously things are not too well for you and the Nigerian public. But let's start off with how you made it into Ghana. What was your story? How did you leave Niger, even when the coup happened, when you were in that country? How did you run for your life and to make it right into the Republic of Ghana?
Thank you for everything. But before answering your question, I want to correct something.
Right.
I'm not the former chief of staff. I'm the chief of staff of the president of the Republic of Niger.
You don't accept that you've been deposed?
Mohamed Bazoum, who is still the elected president of Niger, then is not the former president. He is the president of the Republic of Niger, the elected one. This attempt to depose him is still ongoing, and it will finish in.
So you don't even accept that you've been deposed?
No. Bazoum is still the president of the Republic of Niger, recognized by all the countries in the world.
Well, the Electoral Commission has vowed to go after all persons who breach the rules and regulations for the upcoming voters' registration exercise. The EC announced yesterday that persons who have turned 18 since 2021 can now register to be voters. But speaking at a news conference to announce modalities for the exercise, Chairperson Jen Mensah explained that one person can only guarantee for up to 10 persons, warning anyone who goes beyond this ceiling will be prosecuted.
All applicants are to show proof of eligibility by tendering any of the following identification documents. 1, the National Identification Card, also known as the Ghana Card, and the Ghana Passport. Applicants who do not have any of the identification documents listed above are required to present 2 persons who are already registered voters to vouch for their citizenship and age. Per law, a guarantor can guarantee for up to 10 applicants. It is important to emphasize that it is a criminal offense to guarantee for more than 10 applicants, and a person who guarantees for more than 10 applicants will be prosecuted. It is also a criminal offense for a guarantor to guarantee for non-citizens and minors. The Commission will identify such persons and bring them up for prosecution. And here I'd like to call on our media partners to assist us in educating our citizenry on this specific section of the law.
Meanwhile, the district-level election scheduled for 19 December will be conducted in all districts across the country except the Nkranza North and South districts. Jen Mensah explains why.
The district-level elections refer to the Assembly and Unit Committee elections. They are also known as the DLE for short, and that's what most of us call them. The DLE will be conducted to elect people to the lower local government structures. It is a non-partisan election, and it is held every 4 years. The 2023 district level election will take place on Tuesday, the 19th of December, 2023. The DLE will be conducted in all 6,272 electoral areas in all districts, with the exception of Nkrasa North and Nkrasa South in the Bono East region. The DLE for the two districts was not held in 2019 for security reasons. They were both conducted in April 2021. As such, the elections would not be held in both districts until 2025. The Commission has developed a comprehensive program of activities for the 2023 district level elections, and this will be made available to the public shortly. As a Commission, we encourage voters to take advantage of the voters' registration exercise and register to vote. We also entreat the citizenry to participate actively in the district level elections, which will be held on the 19th of December, 2023.
Now, the Informal Waste Workers Association is questioning the rationale behind the decision by the Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Quartey to place restrictions on their work. According to them, they were not consulted in the process before the minister communicated his decision. Therefore, they will continue to work until the minister opens up for a truce on the matter. Before we hear from them, let's listen to the minister introducing MMDAs on that. But we'll be bringing you that later. We can now listen to the General Secretary of the Informal Waste Workers Association, Max Jumbo, saying they'll continue to work until the minister sits with them to draw solutions to his concerns.
Facts straight. Issues of Abubuya and Prakia started from the Greater Accra region as far back as 2021. If you recall, we issued those directives and restricted the movement of Abubuya on principal streets, and I talked about Pragia. We have just come to reinforce it because clearly it appears that the implementing agencies have relaxed a bit. So this is the first of its kind, a meeting that by the Act, the RCC should be holding at least once in a year. For some reason, we've been able to put committees together, and so we've held a meeting for the first time. We are saying that we want to re-emphasize that directive that was given 2 years ago. So we are not copying Ashanti Regional. If there's anything, they would have copied from us.
That was Henry Quartey, Greater Accra Regional Minister. Now, the national president of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors, Alhaji Daud Suleimana Mahama, says the institute is partnering with the judiciary and other stakeholders to help weed bad nuts in the survey institute to ensure sanctity in their work. He said the quality of work by some of them leaves much to be desired, therefore the agenda to read them. Now, Surveyor Alhaji Daud said this when he addressed members of the Land Surveyors Division of Surveyors at the official opening of the 2023 annual seminar in Tamale.
The annual seminar brings together members of the association to deliberate on issues that border the institution and how to address them. Surveyor Alhaji Daud Suleimana Mahama said the majority of good surveyors cannot sit aloof and allow a few tarnish their image.
In fact, when I was the executive secretary of last week, I was called several times to the Cabinet House in 1 or 2 days met the president and his state for our work as transportation and as surveyors. It it was actually illuminating. It was almost felt by the fact that the vice president had in several occasions complained about the quality of work that comes from us. If we dominate the land solution, and these complaints are being made, it is not to the land solution, it is to us as surveyors. So as we go smart thinking and looking for judicial solutions for the digitalized work, I think we have to pause and let us have a very strong ethical conversation with this institution. It is not all of us, it is a minority. But we cannot also keep quiet and say that because the minority is doing this, we should keep quiet and just watch them destroy all of us and our image. We should be able to start smartly punishing wrongly, no matter the status of the perpetrators. Therefore, we are going to cooperate with the judiciary, LISAC, the Land Commission, to suspend and inspire culprits that will come to our application. It doesn't matter the number of years or years of time. Already, these conversations have started. We are going to establish and enforce practice standards. And therefore, this we will take very seriously.
The Northern Regional Minister, Shani Alhassan Shaibu, in a welcome address said there was the need for the institution to enforce standards among its members.
Over the years, many past and unsuspected land agents have found crude means of registering their land with plans other than the legally stipulated documents. As a professional body, there is a need to enforce the standards and ethics governing the practice. There are many times the region is saddled with double sale of lands, dubious registration, and improper produced cadastral plans by surveyors. These fraudulent practices is a recipe for conflict in many areas and cause a lot of unrest in our already fragile communities.
A fellow of the Institute and member of Parliament for Ahafano South East in the Ashanti region, Francis Menu Adabo, said technology is the only way the country can use to win the Galamsey fight and know the count of its resources because of the immense data that can be generated.
The illegal mining fights has been on for decades, and we cannot achieve better results if we do this the same way. There is now a need to combine those special techniques with other advocacies already in place to curb this menace. We need to deploy manned and unmanned special technology using drones, satellite imagery, LiDAR, and aerial flights to track down these damaging activities. Without special technology, it will be difficult to locate and quantify the extent of devastation on our natural resources.
The Vice Chancellor of the CK Tedham University, Professor Philip Duku-Osei, on his part, said when the Institute uses technology, it will help create jobs for the teeming unemployed.
The surveillance started from the 1960s with mapping 1800s, yes. And from the 1960s, the Law Association have endeavored to create maps working with the entire country covered on land is 50,000. While for ours, we have one 2,500. We need to be intentional about having digital maps across the country. This will help bring more jobs to our teaming youth as they use their phones in mapping.
You're watching Joy News Today. We'll be right back after business.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the business segment on Joy News Today with me, Pius Kojo-Baka, Deputy Director General in charge of technical operations at the National Communications Authority. Professor Eza Osei-Yeboah-Boateng has called on the youth to embrace digitalization and the opportunities it presents. Speaking at a technology fair in Sunyani, Professor Yeboah-Boateng stressed the need for the youth to work together with their skill set to unleash the potential of digitalization to ensure sustainable development. Precious Emevo has more.
The technology fair at the University of Energy and Natural Resources saw students exhibit some developed applications, including Compost Connect, smart irrigation system, and smart dust bin for waste management, among others.
Used to track how full, and then when it is full, to give you 100% so that you can go and empty it. Are you working with some clients? We are yet to. I think we can connect.
The week's celebration is on the theme, Unleashing the Potential of Digitalization for National Development, the Role of the Youth. Speaking at the launch of the fair, the head of the Computer Science and Informatics Department, Dr. Peter Piahene, said despite the many achievements of the department, logistical support is required to realize the full potential of the youth.
As a young and growing university with more than 13,000 students who are being trained in science and technology using ICT as a tool, we can only boast of only 30 computers with less than 50 in good working conditions. As an educationalist and an IT expert, I can see that this is a serious problem that needs urgent attention by government and all stakeholders in the tech industry. We have also nurtured students' innovation through hackathons and poster presentation, fostering an environment where students can showcase their skills and creativity. These events are more than just academic excellence. They are also platforms that ignite the spirit of innovation and collaboration among the youth.
The Deputy Director General of the National Communications Authority, Professor Eze Osei-Yeboah-Boateng, said the NCA through the Rural Telephony Project has improved internet connectivity and empowered the youth to access information and opportunities. He called on the youth to embrace the development opportunities digitalization presents.
Your expertise, creativity, and enthusiasm will be vital in driving the digital transformation that Ghana needs to thrive in the 21st century. I urge each of you to embrace the opportunities that digitalization presents. Your skills, talents, aspirations are crucial in shaping a prosperous and digitally empowered Ghana. Let us work together to unleash the potential of digitalization for national development and build a future that is inclusive, sustainable, and driven by the dynamism of our youth.
Bono Regional Minister Justina Osu-Banahene, on her part, appealed to stakeholders to formulate policies to foster innovations.
We must work hand in hand to formulate policies to foster innovation, and for that matter, supply digital infrastructure and promote digital literacy, mentorship programs, and skill development initiatives can empower the youth to harness digital technology effectively and responsibly.
Precious Semevo, Joy Business, Sunyai.
Now, the Office of the 2022 National Best Farmer has launched the Rethink initiative to inspire the youth to embrace agribusiness as a profit-making venture. According to the 2022 National Best Farmer, Nana Yao Sapon Siriboa I, the initiative will urge the youth to leverage the many opportunities provided by agriculture to contribute to development. Here's more.
The Rethink initiative is aimed at encouraging the youth to see agriculture as a dynamic business opportunity and also build the capacity of existing farmers on adopting sustainable farming practices to reduce post-harvest losses. Speaking at the launch of the initiative, the 2022 National Best Farmer, Nanayao Sapon Siriboa I, said his outfit is committed to advocating for policies that will drive the interest of the youth in the sector.
The Rethink initiative will seek to, 1, sensitizing youth to agriculture as a business. The Rethink program is a clarion call urging our youth to perceive agriculture and the opportunities along its value chain as more than a traditional vocation, but an avenue of boundless opportunities that is fulfilling and economically rewarding. Advocacy is the heartbeat of change. And through We Think, we seek to amplify the voice of the youth in agriculture. We engage with policymakers, collaborate with industry leaders, and catalyze a movement that secures that resources, infrastructure, and support necessary for our young agri-warriors to flourish.
The Director of Agric Extension at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Paul Siame, added that government has incurred a huge debt as a result of the Planting for Food and Jobs program, hence the need for more youth to venture into agriculture to help achieve the aims of the program.
You agree with me, the Planting for Food and Jobs Phase 1 registers some modest achievement, but not without challenges, which were highlighted through data collection, analysis, and reporting that we had. In fact, a major one included a high debt burden on government due to the fertilizer and seed subsidy program, weak marketing component, just among others. The PFJ 2.0 approach is that of a smart input credit in which the government facilitates access to inputs by aggregators who then advance this to the farmers within a payment in kind approach. This model is expected to improve production and productivity whilst reducing the debt burden on government.
The Rethink initiative will conclude sensitization programs for the youth in various parts of the country on the need to venture into agriculture.
That's it for business. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Dara will be here at 1 p.m. with the marketplace.
Let's do sports now. On JoyNews Today with me, Muftau Nabila Ablai, President of Ghana Athletics. Bao Fusene says that the relay team that are representing Ghana in this month's World Athletics Championships is better than the group that set a national record of 38.07 seconds in the World Championships in Oregon last year. According to him, Coach Elom and his boys are in good shape and will be flying high the flag of the country in this month's World Championships.
Have two sets of goals. We are praying to go to finals first so that we'll book our ticket for Barbados next year, World Relays. Okay. That will also propel us to the Olympic Games. Okay. When we get a ticket to Barbados, then we'll now plan to wear the medal performance. Because our ultimate goal is to be in Paris 2024. So first, we need to go to the finals. After the finals, then we'll plan for the medal. Because if we don't go to the finals, it will be difficult for us to qualify for the Barbados. And if we don't go to Barbados, so it will be difficult for us to go to Paris Olympic Games. So the first thing we are planning to get into is to get to the finals. Get the finals, the coaches will plan for the medal.
Azamati is not there.
Yeah, but we have a pretty good team now. Look at all the team. They ran 10-04, 10-03, 10-03, 10-03. This team.
One went to Oregon. We're doing 9.
No.
We're doing sub 10.
We're doing sub 10, but prior to that, they were not repeating that time. So this team is more potent than the team we took to Oregon. Collectively, not individually. Yeah. Collectively, is stronger than the Oregon team.
Ralph Hussein, President of Ghana Athletics, speaking there, and Ghana will be participating in the event. The first athlete who will be expected to start the competition for the country will be Deborah Aqua, and she's expected to do a long jump at 25 p.m. on a Saturday. But now let's hear from a presidential aspirant for the position of Ghana Football Association, and he's George Free. He says that the decision of the current Executive Council of the Football Governing Body to ask people interested in occupying various positions in the Ghana Football Association to pay filing fees is alien to football. According to him, it is due to mismanagement on the part of Kurt Okweku and his Executive Council.
My brother, I'll ask you a simple question. The FA president and the executive council has access to pay 50,000. If my brother Ketokreku wants to contest for FIFA position, the president of CAF position, the executive council, ask him whether he's going to pay money. Because in FIFA and CAF, there is money for governance. You don't need to pay a filing fees. But here in our situation, the FA found it prudent that no, we need organizational costs, so pay 50,000. This explains that there are things you can do in your jurisdiction that does not require the approval of FIFA. But the RFs be made to believe that, oh, we've sent amendment to FIFA waiting for approval. Okay, if that is the case, why is the FA president promising at the last Congress that we will be giving you 4,000 and we'll set an RFA desk at the secretariat? If the man has any intention of bringing you to executive council, why would he be giving you 4,000? In the coming days, we will be educating our brothers, the people who spend their money from their pocket, the people who waste their time to run football. We will be telling them every single truth.
This is our wrap up sports here on JoyNews Today with me, Muftau Nabila Apply.
And that's how we wrap up here on Joy News Today. I am Amisi Nyamiche Thompson. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. Do make a date with us again this evening at 7 p.m.